This is our update after 100 miles on the Lectric One to dive a bit deeper than our review. So clearly some time has passed if you look at the bike. We have it quite a bit accessorized, but one of the reasons we wanted to delay this after the unboxing is we wanted to get some miles under our belt. And Allie, did you see?
106 miles.
So I had done the review, ridden the bike, but I wanted Allie to get a bunch of miles under her belt because I wanted her to talk about the shifting system from a less technical perspective, because I think that will be helpful to the audience. So first I'll talk about the Pinion Gearbox and go through the app, and then we'll go for a ride and we can really talk about how both of us have been riding, and we're going to talk about the things that we really like and some of the things that we don't like after 100 miles. I have one favorite ask of you. If our video has helped you with your purchase decision, please use our affiliate link down in the description. Before you make your purchase, it's free and directly supports content like this. Allie and I really appreciate your support. So first, a brief explanation about the Pinion Gearbox. What's going on at the bottom of this bike, Allie?
So usually you see a bunch of different rungs for your chain to be moving when you shift gears, but instead of that, you've got all your gears inside right here. When you shift, you don't hear a clunk, clunk, clunk. When you shift, you hear a... If you can't hear that, it's a ch. And then the buttons to shift gears, it's like a computer. It's not, you're not twisting, you're just pushing, it's just a button, it's a tap. Takes no energy at all. It feels ergonomically nice. There is a top and a bottom, but you don't know what gear you're in. For me, that's a little bit of a negative because I like to know if I can shift higher or not. When you are at the highest gear, it does have a little, so there's five gears. So I've had some friends that have told me they don't even know how to shift their bike. They just leave it in one gear all the time. But the plus of this is you don't have to be pedaling. You can just shift when you're stationary, or even just when you're coasting on your bike, not actually pedaling. On a typical bike, you should be pedaling to shift the gears.
So that is the completely manual shifting that you can use, but some of the magic that happens, some of the tech that's in here is there's an app. So let me walk you through the settings we've been using. So the first step is to download the Pinion Smart Shift app. We already have the bike added because I've been playing around with the settings quite a bit. Now you do want to make sure that you turn the Bluetooth on the gearbox so it can connect to your phone. And how you do that is you push the bottom lever, so that will shift you down in gears technically, but hold that for 3 seconds. You'll hear a few beeps, and when you let go, there will be a blue light that's flashing on the gearbox on this side, and then I can hit tap to connect. Bring your phone close here if it doesn't connect right away. That sometimes can help. Okay, so now that I'm selected, I have some settings here. So firstly, you have Start Select. I'm going to read these because it explains it better than I could. For Start Select, set your desired starting gear according to your preference, and it will automatically engage after stopping. So that just means it's going to shift into your preferred gear once you come to, say, a stop sign or a stoplight. But what we've been using is Pre-Select, and this is the automatic shifting. And so when coasting, Pre-Select automatically shifts into a gear that matches your speed. For example, following downhill sections, this function helps you to charge into a climb without having to manually shift down first. When stopping, Pre-Select automatically shifts into your pre-selected starting gear, and pre-select can only be activated in combination with a start gear. So what we've been using for the start gear is third gear, because first gear feels like you're spinning your legs just a little bit faster. We'll talk more about the riding experience in a little bit. So I think most people setting this to 2 or 3 is a good idea. And then you have target cadence. Right now I have it set at 50. I think maybe between 50 and 65 is where most people are going to land. I'm going to set this to 55. for our riding footage. And remember, target cadence is just setting how many RPMs ideally you want, and then the bike will shift completely around that. All right, with that, Allie, I think we should go for a ride.
Okay.
All right, let's get riding. All right, Allie, so turn off the bike completely and turn it on and walk us through how you ride and how you've been riding the Lectric One.
Okay, first step to turn on the bike, you gotta turn your battery on.
It does go asleep after a while.
Turn my bike on, and then you just go. So we have the bike starting in 3rd gear to begin, and if you listen closely to Ryan, he said, yes, it actually shifts by itself. So Ryan was super excited to tell me about this bike. I rode it, and I was like, okay, not that exciting, but I am excited about it now that I know how to ride it. Let's get started. I'm just gonna start pedaling. Boom. You're gonna have to ride fast.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I already did something automatically. My brain is trained. I just take a little pause on my legs when it feels like the bike has to shift. And you may say, how do you know when to do it? You just ride it and you feel it. It's just like riding a manual car. You just get a feel for it.
And it's all set via the target cadence that we have set for this bike.
So it did take us a bit to figure out what settings we wanted. Like I said, the first time I rode it, I came back and I was like, it didn't even shift. So I want to stop and let everyone see what happens. I don't know if people will be able to notice, but it shifted by itself.
It sounds like you were in 4th gear because it just went down 1 click.
Yep. The automatic shifting is super helpful on a hill, at a stoplight.
So what I've personally been doing, at first I thought I'm more of a manual shift kind of guy, but as I've been using it, I've been leaving it in automatic, and then there's been just a few instances where I shift manually. You can override it for a period of time, but then what's nice is when I come to a stop, it still automatically shifts down, so I know I'm always in the right gear to get started, and that's, to be honest, one of the frustrations when you're on a normal electric bike with a derailleur, because I'll just never shift it because sometimes it's easier. You don't need to worry about the derailleur, or I'll just throttle. But with this bike, I definitely find that I pedal from a stop more often. Let's talk about our favorite things about this electric bike.
My all-time favorite thing of this bike is that I can actually have pressure on my feet and still go fast. A lot of e-bikes, you're ghost pedaling if you want to go super fast. On this bike, you can go fast and still feel pressure and still feel like you're working your body.
Yeah, I love cruising at 28 miles per hour, and I like getting a nice workout, and you certainly can cruising at 28 miles per hour. All right, my next one, I love that both of us can share this electric bike.
This bike is very easy to maneuver. Like if you have to, not that we're on the sidewalk a lot, but if you have to be on the sidewalk and hit a crosswalk button, it's very easy to get over there.
For me, I am heavily biased in this regard, but I love any belt drive electric bike. So that's what makes this bike awesome, because I just feel like Allie and I can put tons of miles on this bike, and I just never have to worry about the chain being greased or any maintenance. We just ride it, charge it up, and we're good to go.
These bags are awesome, and I love there's a smaller one in the front, a larger one in the back. There's super nice roll top bags with magnetic closures.
We'll talk about more of our accessories if you want us to do an accessory video though. All right, let's talk about the negatives. I'm going to start. So there's some advanced settings in here. There's the 8P setting, which is your top speed. You can change it from 32 to 45 kilometers an hour, or 20 to 28. And with this bike, for some reason, it's not the case on other color LCD displays from Lectric, but after every ride, after the bike's turned off, you have to go in and change that setting. And so that's a little bit frustrating to have to go in the advanced settings if you want to go up to 28. And Allie sometimes has a hard time remembering P8. I don't know, maybe we can put a little card on the handlebars for her. So I always change the top speed because I like being able to go 28. But then the other setting that we've been playing around with is P22. We'll put that on the screen for you now. just so you know some of the customization that you have within the display. All right, Allie, what's your second?
I know Ryan's mentioned possibly putting one on. When you're going this fast, roads in Wisconsin are not smooth. I think it would be nice. The suspension seat post helps.
Oh, what suspension seat post? Why don't you show us that?
Oh, our bump stop suspension seat post.
And so yes, that has added a bunch of comfort, but it doesn't replace a suspension front fork. All right, my next one, and this isn't a con per se, but you can see that we have the stem completely maxed out. It's completely vertical. So I think if I had it my way, I would have liked to see the BMX style handlebars on this bike. I do like that it can fit both of us with the handlebars all the way up, but Allie's a little bit shorter, and you would think that she needs the handlebars lower, but that's where she likes riding. That's what I prefer as a taller rider. So certainly something to keep in mind, especially with this more smaller frame, though yes, it is more nimble, which I really appreciate as well. And
I don't know if this is a negative per se, but I don't have the app on my phone. I don't want to deal with the settings. It is somewhat of a negative if you don't have the app, but also you don't need the app. Ryan has the settings set and it still works fine. You don't have to have the phone connected to ride the bike.
Correct. Once you get your settings dialed in, if you want to use the automatic shifting, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it at all. It's just nice for some tinkers out there who really kind of want to play with the settings, which we did over our 100 miles. We found our ideal settings for both of us. So there you have it, more detailed information on the important things of this electric bike. It's all about the ride on the Lectric One. Check out our full review for additional information.
So I encourage all of you that are a little bit nervous, don't even know what this is, give it a try. You might have to play with the settings a bit. It's really hard to want something you don't even know is a thing. This is a foreign bike for me that actually shifts by itself.
Part of the goal of this video was to try to get across to you, the audience, just how this bike works. So hopefully that was effective at bringing on someone who's never tried one out before. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, let us know what questions you have in the comment section. We're open to doing a follow-up video, but for now, I think 100 miles was a solid number for us to get to so we could better help you with your purchase decision. Allie wants to show you our bell.
Oh, I love this bell. Bells are really important to me, and this is a solid bell.
So yeah, let us know if you want to see that accessory video.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.